So, welcome to the podcast. This is a random impromptu. We're just going to hang out. It was like, you know what? Let's do an episode. Everything is already set up. So, I don't actually use these headphones ever. So, go ahead, say
Yo,
something.
imagine they were just never connected and it was just for show.
It's just the little walkie.
Let me see.
You know, Bryan, introduce yourself. Who are you? Who's Bryan?
I am Bryan Badia. I'm a videographer, creative strategist, longtime friend of Josh. Probably your longest friend,
Yeah.
I would say. How much time we got known each other?
Like 23 years?
23 years.
That's
Long time.
We could have graduated college at this point. You know, it's to the depths of all that. It's creative strategist. What does that mean? What does it mean? Like, what do you like to do? What do you do in that field?
So when it comes to that, it's kind of like everything you see in advertising campaigns is not just an idea. It's not just let's make something cool. There has to be like a strategy behind it. So you have to find an insight, like what is the universal truth to make this connect with other people. And I feel like that's what I kind of like enjoy is like the ideation and the finding the true meaning behind certain ads. Like for example, there's an ad with On shoes, the running shoes, and Elmo, and people are like, "That's such a random."
Elmo.
It is a
So
random, but the strategy behind it is that Nike and Adidas, like, they're very hard, tough, grind, never stop, and not everyone, fits that demographic. Sometimes you want soft running, like you want to enjoy your run. And it's like who embodies soft and kindness, and it's like Elmo.
Yeah.
And then there you see the through line of why that connects instead of being random. Yeah. And then it connects with people because that's a universal truth that not everyone wants to run 1,000 miles. Some people just want to run one and enjoy it.
Yeah.
So
I had that conversation with Hector recently, actually, which I don't know where this episode actually falls because this is like we decided to talk about purpose. So if you're listening to this episode, maybe when you watch it, we're going to talk about purpose. That's the whole goal of today's episode. If you're struggling with purpose and trying to find identity, kind of just conversation around that. So I don't know where that episode falls, but we were talking about that specifically. Hector actually works for Nike, and that's something he does. They run something called We Run Uptown, which is that, and that's kind of the premise that they have. That some people just want to get into running. They want to do these things, and they want to be a part of it, but they might not have it all figured out, or it might not be like, super polished. They're just kind of just jumping into these things. So looking at purpose, though, looking at that word purpose, what is that to you? Like, what do you define your life purpose as? Which that's like a really deep philosophical question, but what would life purpose look like for Bryan?
It's interesting because like throughout my life, I feel like purpose has had different iterations. Like sometimes at certain points, I identified it with what I do, and it's probably not that. Then sometimes like my relationships, like, am I a good son, good brother, good friend? So I feel like purpose is like kind of ever evolving. Yeah. I don't think it's like one thing because if you find it, then what do you do after that?
Yeah.
So I think it just continues, but I'm still trying to figure it out. I feel like we're all still trying to figure it out, even when it looks like we haven't figured out.
Yeah, there's never such thing as being perfectly perfect. Everyone's going to have seasons of ups and downs. I think one of the greatest things is being able to value what your ups look like and being able to appreciate the lessons and the downs.
Exactly.
And a lot of people lose sight of that because it's easy to get lost in the fact that I'm not doing anything. Like I feel like I'm not doing anything, that I feel like I'm not moving. I feel like things aren't changing. But the only time, I say this very often, there's a difference between motion and movement. Mm-hmm. Like you can flare your arms up a lot and throw them in the air and be super exhausted because you moved a lot, but you didn't change. There was no motion. Exactly. There was movement. So I think the biggest goal should be that there should always be movement. Whether you feel like you are completely full of what you're doing or you feel like you're void from where you are, there has to be something that you're moving into. So what does movement look like for you in this season? Like what does that feel like?
In this season, I define it as rest, actually. I feel like for the past 2 years, I've been grinding super hard and burning out. And I guess I needed to do that to kind of like find out what are my boundaries and like my capabilities. So in this season right now, I'm resting. I'm taking care of me, like my mental, my health, addressing whatever I need to address before I can, really hit the ground running again.
Yeah. So what would your dream career then be? Because I know we talked about the things that you want to do, the things that you are, but what would that like defining like this is the most purposeful career path for me?
My end goal is being a creative director. I don't know for what, because I feel like if you would have asked me 10 years ago, it would have been, Nike.
Yeah.
5 years after that, it might have been when I was working in the studio. It might have been for
Yeah.
a music production company or something, or a label. So I don't know, but I do know I want to be a creative director. And like,
Are there any ways of you doing that on your own, like without like other people, like being a creative director?
Of course, but I think you still need to build up, somehow your
resume,
and that you're really capable of doing it,
Yeah.
because it requires a lot. It's not just being creative, because I think at a certain point, creative director, you're not doing so much creativity. You're kind of managing.
Yeah.
But I feel like being in that field and being responsible for other people and their growth and like putting out work that really means something, I feel like aligns with me. So I would say creative director, but I wouldn't define in what, but definitely.
Well, what behind being a creative director makes you feel like that's where you belong? Like, what is the antithesis of that job? Like, what's that thing that is like, that's why I want to do that?
I feel like just like it's tough. I feel like I've aspired for it, and I've met other creative directors and like how they manage to like create these campaigns and these ads and like these products that really touch people. And I feel like as a kid, that's what I would see. I would see these commercials, these ads with Nike, Adidas that really touch me and like help me, I guess, feel inspired. And I feel like I want to create things that also create inspiration for the next generation.
Yeah, that's speaking to the growth that people have, and we've seen that often. One of my favorite campaigns I've ever seen was the Smile movie. I think that was genius. They had people randomly smiling at Yankee games and like the subway stuff. Like, I think that was the smartest thing. But the beauty of this industry specifically is that we give voices to Latino people. Like, that's our goal, our people, to be able to influence and grow a community of that. So you're talking about purpose and talking about things that you want to do. How does your heritage, your ethnicity, your Dominicanness, how does Sonia and Alberto fit into this role? I don't know, I just throw out the name out there, but how do they fit into that influence that has over you?
Major, because my mom came at 15, my dad later on, and they did jobs that didn't allow them to like pursue like what they truly wanted to do. My dad is a painter, and my mom she takes care of kids, daycare. And I feel like through me, they live like they see me chase a dream, and
they're supportive of it.
They support it.
Yeah.
As opposed to like most other, I feel like
Hispanic parents.
Hispanic parents that it's like, just do something or like just get a job or be a doctor.
Work factory.
Yeah, something that they could brag about kind of sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's kind of been the opposite. I think my persistence has shown them that it's not just a choice that I just want to do something cool. It's kind of like I really want to bust my ass for this.
Yeah, and a lot of them, I mean, a lot of our parents in general, Hispanics in general, they're not dreamers, like, to put it nicely. Their mindsets has always been, oh, I just get a check. Check off the box, get a check, pay your bills. That's it. But there's nothing that's been driving them, and this is what tying into purpose, that a lot of people fall into that same rut, right? We're doomed to repeat the things that we don't address. So when our parents were doing things and they weren't growing through things, or they weren't challenging themselves, they weren't being pushed, or maybe they just didn't have the luxury that we have. Because let's be real, growing up in this country, we have a luxury that most other people don't. They don't see the ability to dream. Yeah, and that's I think makes a huge difference. So, well, how do you feed into that dream that they had? Like, how does that tie in for you?
I feel like I just try to honor the sacrifice. Like, first generation, if I'm allowed to dream, then I should dream. Yeah. I shouldn't let that sacrifice go on unnoticed. It should definitely be something that I need to like take advantage of. And like, if we're already here and they've already made these sacrifices, why not just go for it?
Yeah. What would you tell high school Bryan?
Oh man,
chance to talk to him and say, "Hey, look, this is where we are now. This is where we want to be." What would you tell him?
It's interesting because I do think about that often, and I feel like I'm harder on myself now. And I feel like high school Bryan would be like, "Yo, that's dope. Like, what you're doing is like you're really doing it. I didn't even know that was a real thing that you could do." He would definitely be proud, but I let him know like just like trust your gut. Yeah. Like, don't listen to anybody. Like,
don't date that other girl, or don't go to that party.
Don't drink that Sprite bottle. It's not Sprite.
It's not Sprite. You're going to be tight later on.
Yeah. But even when I look back at our high school years, I don't regret much. I feel like we lived such we
didn't go to jail.
We didn't go to jail. We were like honestly there for each other.
Yeah.
We support each other in whatever we were doing. We always made sure that we were like safe. Like
Yeah, we also have very tight knit. Like we had other friends, but it wasn't like the same. And we have one friend who I think he's in jail again. And
I
it's
wouldn't doubt it.
definitely a very different world in that perspective. But it could have been very easy to go that route. You know?
Yeah, and it's interesting because like even getting older, like let's say the past like 10 years, like the type of friends I've had, like really aligned with like what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
And I feel like that 2020 pandemic time was like a magical time for us. Like,
yeah. Everyone was hanging out.
yeah, everyone's
We had
hanging
nothing
out.
to do but be friends.
But
It's so messed
on
up.
top of being friends, like we were all being super creative.
Yeah.
Like we were always creating something.
Yeah.
So I feel like I give up like a lot of props to that time. Like
Shout
that's
out to
very
the
influential.
world-stopping pandemic.
Yeah, seriously.
Destroyed everything. But you know what? At the very least, our creativity was born. I mean, even me. That's where I started making content. Like when I was still in Yonkers before we moved in together. That's when I started making content. So Yonkers, well, that's why I was teaching in the Bronx, and then that transition period. Did I move out in the pandemic?
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, we decided to.
Moved to that apartment building, but
Yeah.
how did that? I'm trying to like picture because I remember like living in Yonkers and making content with the T3i.
Yeah, literally.
And this Telefunken that I still have over there.
Which literally proves you don't need.
Amazing. You don't need all this.
You don't need to start. Just start.
Yeah, that's something I said at another podcast that I was on. I was like, it could let it be ugly, but make it perfect as you go through it. So it should just do something. People's hardest thing is starting. They don't start.
Yeah, it's funny because like now that you say that, I've been kind of feeling stuck, right? And I've been reading a lot of things, and they say the cure to being stuck is just doing something.
Yeah.
Like just do something is what kind of like gets you out of it.
Snowball effect.
Exactly.
Start a little bit and everything else changes. So being stuck, tell us a little more about that. Like, what do you think you're stuck in? Your creativity or change?
So I think after, because I had finished school last year, I told myself like, you know what, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna finish. Finished. I got into this program for design and art direction. 5 months of like accelerated like education in that field and advertisement. I got into an internship with this creative agency for like 4 months, and then like it stopped. You know, like my body, my mind was like out of it.
Yeah.
And though I was trying to honor my body, I still felt stuck. Like I didn't know what my next step was.
Okay.
And I kind of just realized like there doesn't need to be a next step right now. Like maybe it is just taking care of my health.
Yeah.
Because I was dealing with some health issues. And then it's also my mind. Like how can I go into something at 45% of my capacity?
Yeah.
So I think I just need to tell myself that I'm not stuck, that I'm just resting.
Yeah.
Like define it differently.
Yeah, because I think that's the word definition, how you define something. Because there's a difference between being stuck and feeling like you're in a rut, and then seeing that you're forcibly forced to rest. So you have to be present to that. You have to be real to that. And I think a lot of people, again, that's a struggle that we have, that we don't give ourselves seasons of intentional rest. It's just like go pedal to the
hustle grind mentality doesn't let you think about it. It says if you're stopped, you're not doing anything.
Yeah, that's a lie. That's a flat out lie.
Yeah, it really is. It's. I feel like it benefits some people for you to continue to hustle. I'm pretty sure whoever's paying you would rather have you grind than to rest. But in order for you to
but I do think
be the
that
best,
there's seasons where you do have to press in. Like there's moments where you have to like, okay, well, this got to get done. You know, we got to get through. But then you have to be intentional about that time that you're pausing.
Exactly. We have also to be like conscious of like how we're
terrible cough, by the way. I don't know if you guys hear that, but I'm trying to fix it. But
how we use our time too. Like we do things that don't give us really rest, and then when we need the rest, we've already wasted that time.
Yeah.
And whatever. So it's like being intentional with your time as well.
Yeah, making it purposeful and fruitful. Like today's my only day where I'm really, because I'm not watching Luke, so it's the only day that I'm like fully. I'm gonna be here all day. Today, like Sunday, stuff like that, when I can squeeze in. But it's intentional time here. Like there's like 50,000 things that have to get done, so I'm trying to be intentional about that. I think that's a big takeaway for people, though, intentionality and putting priorities on the table, because there's that saying, don't put your eggs in too many baskets, right? You're trying to do too many things, and that's how you make sure that you do a lot of things wrong. Like you don't do one thing well. So what's in this season? What's intentional for you? Like what are you doing intentionally?
Right now it's like I don't know if I told you I got into an accident a couple years ago for my back.
Yeah,
it's been hurting.
I remember you told me, but it was like random, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what? What do you mean you got into an accident?
Yeah,
It's like, this is completely random.
And I never addressed it, and like,
Were you like on a bike or something?
yeah, I was on a bike,
yeah,
and then someone turned on a red light and just rocked me, and I guess being young, your body is just like, I'm fine.
Bro. I'm Dominican with Dominican mom that told me if you get hit by a car, you stay down.
Yeah. Oh no, my mom was like, we can't afford an ambulance, so I was like, but
It's not
yeah,
my insurance. Who's theirs?
exactly. And then I don't know, it kind of hit me a little bit harder this year. I guess with the amount of stress I was dealing with,
Yeah.
and like my body was reacting to it pretty bad.
Yeah.
So definitely got that checked out. PT. I got a new therapist too for like talking about my blocks and like why I'm not being able to do certain things, because I'm very aware of like what I'm doing, what I'm not doing, and I understand like that I could not be doing this, but there's probably something behind it as to why I'm not being able to get through this threshold.
Yeah.
So it's just more being intentional with like what's wrong, or like I guess having awareness of like what's going on with me and how to address it.
Which is huge. I mean, a lot of people don't try to make those changes, and especially in our culture, again, that tied into like our family and our relatives. Usually, like mental health has never been a thing. Like they don't really care about that. It's like put some dirt on it and get it together, but you can't.
Yeah, and then like they become full adults that just do.
Yeah, broken adults creating broken kids.
Exactly.
Cycle. It's awesome that you're addressing that, because that's something we don't really look at. I do think in this generation we are very like pro mental health. Like we are very
100%.
pro. Even I mean, this podcast is a mental health podcast. It's this emphasis of it. The people that all 7 of you that listen, I appreciate you. But the reality is that these people are looking for something that helps soothe it. Like I say this a lot on this podcast. Doesn't mean that I'm like a Ford expert or the leading neurologist in the world that knows everything about synaptic pathways and how our brains work. I know a lot, but maybe not that sense. But it's not that there's something new that's going to be discovered. It's just something that you already know that you haven't addressed.
Exactly.
It's not, you need
like be real with yourself.
Yeah.
Like be honest with yourself and really address it.
Yeah, and you need someone else to help you address it, even though you know exactly what it is. They can say, you could write down the words, give it to them, and they'll just say it back to you. You're like, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You just need to hear it from the exterior.
Yeah, sometimes you do, and I feel like when we're in this hustle grind mentality too, like we kind of push away people. Yeah. Probably not intentional, probably because you're so focused, but like going back to center and seeing like what grounds you. Sometimes it's your friends. Like sometimes it's that text message like, "Hey, come through the studio."
The 17 times.
Yeah.
And
then you finally come and you're just like, wow, that's exactly what I needed. And it's kind of like those moments and those things that you kind of need to like hold tight sometimes.
Yeah. Really dive into those, because we all need it. We need places where we don't have to be on. And I say that often. Like I'm like, I don't want to feel, because my roles and my jobs and the things I have to do, I do have to be on. I do have to be a person that, for better lack of words, I have to have like PR training, and I have to be able to speak correctly, and I have to not post pictures that look crazy, which I don't. It's not who I am. But still have to.
You're not the dude walking down the street that could just post whatever and talk about whatever freely, and there's no consequences.
Yeah. But then in that same breath, and this is what I'm alluding to, is that we all need places where we can authentically be ourselves. Like I equate it to having people who are living room people, because in your living room you have no shoes on, you're comfortable, you're the ugliest version of you, and you're good, you're at peace because you're at home. You need to have that balance, and not everyone has people that they could be like that with, right? That's not always the case. But,
and I feel so bad for those people.
Yeah,
bro.
because you need community. That's a natural thing that all humans need. You need community.
Like someone that just like gets you. Like you don't. There's no you don't have to give the context. The context is already there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like I can send you a meme and you'll know what I'm talking about. I don't have to explain to you because we've had that built in for years.
It's already what's that word? It's
ingrained, or
no, it's like when it's a joke, when it's inside joke. It's like an inside joke or something of that norm. But yeah, the reality that it is an inside joke, right? There's just things that we can talk about and just be real with ourselves and just
like let down that guard.
Yeah, and not need to be like, oh, this person is going to judge me or treat me differently, dude. You've seen the worst of the worst, right? That's it. There doesn't get worse than that. I mean, I haven't like killed a puppy or anything like that, but you know, it could be as bad, and that's where you have to feel comfortable. You have to have people
have that good
or
circle.
like that. You need your community.
Yeah.
What does community look like for you lately?
Lately, it's been like now I'm like getting out of like this like funk time of grinding and stuff, and I'm trying to just reconnect with a lot of people, which is like being intentional when like I'm invited somewhere. Like no one really has to invite you anywhere, you know. Just like being aware of like this person wants to see you, like honor it a little bit more. Like, you know, take care of yourself, but also be like aware of like people are reaching out. Like show up, and also like being just there for people. Like sometimes it's not convenient for you, but it's not about your convenience, it's about actually showing up.
I feel like I have a word that I'm gonna say just to make like a clip, so people are gonna get this from the Instagram. There's not anything crazy, but I'm gonna say not to get too messy. Right? That's what people want to watch. Is like, what's the mess? What's wrong with y'all? Why are you here because of that? If you're here because you heard that one clip and you listened to this whole podcast, what's wrong with you? But not to get too messy. But there are people that I've dealt with in my life that are like that. That completely shut me out, completely don't speak to me ever again. And then out of nowhere pop up and be like, oh, this, and this, like everything is normal. And that's not okay. It's not justified.
Dude, there's people that I come across and they're like, I haven't seen them in a long time, right?
You're probably speaking about the same person, but
no, I'm pretty sure it's not. But they'll just be like, yo, Josh is doing this thing. And I'm like, why don't you tell Josh that? Like, why? But then again, it's also like they know that they haven't spoken to you in a while, or like they've already shut you out. So it's almost like their only way of like acknowledging it that you are through someone else. You know, it's already, they already have the kind of like the shame of like, I already stopped talking to him. Like, but I acknowledge
everyone's welcome to talk to me. I'm not not like what am I? I'm nothing. I'm just the person that.
It's also I'm pretty sure they forget how you are since, or how you've changed like since then.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it's different because you don't have relations with certain people, so you might feel that way. I get that. I'm not indicating. I'm also very introverted, so maybe leave me alone.
Yo, just get me
very awkward, anyways.
Yeah, just get a little heart. And then
share the podcast. It's
exactly. Share the podcast. Share the podcast.
No, but it's just like this reality where I get it. I understand that because it's like you don't speak to people, you don't speak to a person, so you feel awkward about engaging them. But I mean, at the same time, I think you should. Well, you're not gonna know the character of a person off of like social media. Like
exactly,
I could be the world's biggest villain and no one will ever know. Maybe some people I am, but
it's crazy because like, what if that was true? There's still people out there that don't know that side that will share their heartbreaks to you because of who you are.
I'm in the background like, ha ha ha.
Yeah,
terrible. No, I'm kidding. That's not me.
But that's definitely not him. I wouldn't be friends with this guy if that was
that's a horrible thing to do. No, but there are people like that. Like I've encountered people in this world. I've encountered both sides. I've encountered a lot of the other side, though. I haven't encountered that many bad people, but as like I've grown in my networks and the things I've been invited to and the things I've seen, and again, I'm no one special, but I have been fortunate to be in certain rooms that I'm just like, how did I even get here? But I've seen both sides. I've seen the side of people who are in these places and they're like very almost vindictive. They're just like, oh, you need to worship the ground I walk on, and that doesn't work with me.
You've met so many people that I'm pretty sure no one can really like shake you and be like, oh no, I should.
I like
attention.
But like this is different because if you're a good person, I'm gonna like you. Like I'm gonna speak to you and socialize with you. But if you're like that kind of, I'm telling you, I've met those people where they're just like, oh, I'm this and that. I'm just like, shut up. No one cares.
And it's also you've met, like I'll say it again, you've met pretty big people, and then. That's probably the way you are is probably what actually builds that relationship as opposed to like just being another person in the room. Yeah, because
I realize that I'm funny sometimes. So when it hits, it hits. Like it's different. They're just like, oh, this guy's hilarious, and just keep me around. But it's like those people really like it's that saying, "Don't meet your heroes." Like they're not one of my heroes.
Yeah,
but people like that, I've seen the like, yo, like you look like you're this, and this, but you're just evil. But I'll be honest, I've seen maybe this is unfortunate, and maybe I've just been around like the right group of people. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of people who are very very nice people in this industry, like in like the media industry in general. That are just like they're just so cool. So I think it makes it so much easier when you really see the good in people and people are actually good with you.
And I feel like you've had the opportunity to like move the veil.
Yeah,
where
like see it for all my friends near me. I'm like, oh guys, this is where we're at.
Yeah, it's almost like you get to actually meet these people and actually see like what is behind the curtain, and like it's not as bad. Probably.
And there's actually I talked about this before, and I I mentioned that there's a proverb in a psalm, parable, all these things in the Bible that Jesus talks about. He talks about this parable where he's like, just to make it real short, that there's like this leader and this guy that works for him, and he's people owe him money. They owe the boss money. So this guy is like doing the wrong things and he's messing up. But then he finds out the boss is going to fire him. So what he does is that he goes to these other people and he says, okay, you owe me this much. Give me a third of what you owe. Give me a half. I'll write you a promissory note for that much. So what he was doing was that he was in a position that he was put on. So what he was doing is he was putting those other people on. Because if his job left, now, granted, he did it for a different reason. Like, I'm doing it because I just want people, like I tell you all the time, bro, come with me to these things. Because I would rather be able to put people in places that they want to be. Not necessarily because you could do something for me later, but just because I'm here now, let's open the door for everybody. So he did that for himself. That was the wrong thing to do. But
for preservation,
just the thought of it is important, because it's like, if I can do something for someone else, why would I not do it? Why wouldn't I open doors so that we could all be inside the room? Yeah,
not everyone thinks that way. Sometimes it's like, if I put you on, you're taking from me.
Yeah.
But which is like the wrong way to think.
Because there's so much to have. Like,
and I feel like that's like a block for people. I feel like they think that this is only so much.
And that's actually why people don't make anything, though. That's why they don't go anywhere. Because even the stuff that made me, like the thing that put me where I'm at, was because I was doing to give to people. Like the social media, okay, granted, TikTok started paying me. So that was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, you say that so like casually, but like you busted your ass.
Yeah,
so
like,
it's
I showed up, but my reference is like, yeah, I'm getting paid now, but I wasn't getting paid before.
Yeah,
like it was like, oh, people are receiving something. Oh, cool, I'm gonna do this because of that message that I heard. And so it's like, because of the good, more good came out. People end up being greedy. So this is just a full circle back to that person or people who make you like you have to worship and walk, kiss the ground they walk on. We have a couple more minutes here.
I actually have a question for you.
Go for it.
Because I've been actually next to you through your whole journey.
Yeah.
How does it, like, have you ever had moments where like, all right, you've had like where you are now and like where you started, and like how your intention, I guess, opened up a path? Like, did you ever see like where like you didn't know how it was possible to get to that point, but you being persistent and like just a good person, I guess, like the path just kind of opens up for you, and you kind of realize like, I didn't even know how to get to here, but somehow.
Well, even this, I mean, who gets paid to talk on a microphone? Like, very few people do that. Like, and when I say very few, I mean the number is like 2% or something like that in the entire country that are paid from a network, at least, to do stuff like this. So this wasn't even a plan. This was never part of the plan. The part of the plan was always like the media stuff. As the media stuff grew, I was like, oh, I'm gonna work with companies and work with people and work for organizations to help them grow their reach and stuff like that. That was the plan. This was never the plan. This was a byproduct of just somebody being good. Someone that was good saw me and said, hey, I like what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Let's make it happen. And to be honest, I've said this a lot, and I keep saying it, I'm going to keep saying it, is that I'm living this season, this at least this contract, like there isn't a next one. Like, I'm going to do everything I possibly can to enjoy it, because I don't know. I don't know if I'm reaching the right people. I don't know if I'm reaching the right numbers. I don't know what the metrics. I mean, my metrics to me look good, but I don't know if they look good to the industry, to that level, to the company. So I'm just like, whatever. I'm going to push and do and enjoy until I can't. And if it doesn't happen next year, it doesn't happen next year. But this was never a part of the plan, which, to be honest, gives me so much more optimism, because if this was never a part of the plan, I wonder what else isn't a part of the plan.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I forgot where I heard it, where it's like when you ask God for something, is like leave the door open a little bit, because if you're asking for just 100, he's only gonna give you 100, but he was probably planning to give you so much more.
Yeah. And
it's kind of like you could ask, oh, I want to do this, but like he has way more planned for you.
Yeah. You just have to, one, obviously do the work, because people think that they're gonna receive without the work. You can't, because you never put the effort for it. But be open to the idea of so much more. Like, that's, again, this was never a part of the plan. This, getting this place, doing these things, and not to, I don't know. I mean, I don't never talk finances, but not to talk finances, but I've never seen so much money in my whole life. Mm-hmm. Like, I've never seen a check that magnitude. And it's kind of scary, to be honest, because it's like, okay, what if I adjust my life to that standard, but I don't meet that standard later? It's
exactly. And I feel like people fall into that.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like more money, more problems.
Yeah. Biggie Smalls. Shout out to St.
Yeah,
Biggie.
shout out to Big.
Brooklyn.
Where it's like you start to like spend and do things on that level, but it's not guaranteed, like you said, you know.
Yeah. So enjoying the season of it. That's always the biggest goal. This was never part of the plan, but it's a byproduct of the work. And I think that's where it's important. It's like, am I willing to put in work for it? Because like you said, right, I busted my ass doing this. I busted my butt creating content and being up and writing and doing all these things and learning how to color grade, because I was never a videographer, right? I think photography is my thing. I love photography, but learning sound design and all these things. And every day I get better, but it was never the plan.
No, yeah. I just asked because like when 2020 hit and we were living together and creating content, like I knew I liked videography, but it wasn't like I knew I was supposed to do more. And like I would see campaigns and I was just like, yo, I don't know what that job is, but like I would love to do that. And I just kept saying that. And like I guess keeping that forward and just like putting in the work, somehow like the doors were opening to that path. Yeah. And I didn't even know that was already in play for me.
Yeah. So, I mean, we don't have a lot of time, but I mean, this is my podcast. I can do whatever I want. I forgot. We should have cut off already, but if you're still here, you're the best because we got a little bit more. It probably gets better. Listen. So, using those gifts, and this is kind of a challenge I'm going to give you. I don't know how open to it, but what if you were to start creating campaigns on your own? Like 15, 30-second campaigns.
So what I do is like now, like I'll take...
Like for social media, like make this like...
No, yeah. Like right now, like what I've been doing really is like, all right, like I'll take a challenge where it's like if the X brand needed Z product or whatever and just kind of break it down of like what the strategy is, what the billboards out of home stuff looks like, how does it live on media. Yeah. So like, for example, I'll do Nike.
Like pitch decks?
Yeah. I'm just practicing pitch decks and like seeing my process and how I would do things. Yeah. And I have it on my website and everything. And that's what I'm kind of doing. I'm doing like these mock pitch decks.
So what if...
Like spec work, basically.
This is like... And I haven't seen this. And I mean, I feel like the power... Again, I'm a byproduct of the power of, 1, consistency, 2, product, and 3, social media. Mm-hmm. All these things tie into each other. The reason that I have what I have is because of that. What if you created a social media platform like Twitter, whatever, TikTok, whatever, in which you start off with like the video by product of it? Like, let's say, I don't know, we're doing what is it, Audio Technica, whatever. A campaign for these headphones, right? And you start off with what, like, you use your videography skills to create a video aspect to it, and then in that create the whole pitch for it. I say that because 1, it's practice, of course. Yeah. 2, it teaches people online, which is what they want. But 3, it makes you visible to those companies.
No, yeah, and I've talked to many people too in the industry where it's like, I got X job, and they looked at my portfolio and they actually liked the spec work, not even the real work I did. Yeah. Because the spec work is like you unleashed, like with your full creativity. There's no guardrails. Like you unleashed your creativity. And I have thought about that. And like, I just like have been gearing up to just feel okay in the moment. Mm-hmm. And then gearing up to do stuff like that. So like on my spare time, I'm doing the pitch decks and I haven't really got back to videography, which is like another thing that I feel like,
I mean, you got a place here. It's not big, but create content.
But it's funny how like the brain and the mind plays with you because I haven't done it really in a year because I've been focusing on this one thing, and now I'm like my confidence in it is different as it was when I was doing it every day. Yeah, like I'm
especially
like,
the editing component, which is the hardest.
Dude, sometimes I look at my old stuff, I'm like, how did I do that? Yeah. But it was just like that. Like, I didn't see anything. I was just focused on getting the product out, you know? Yeah. Like, I would see something and I would just do it. I didn't think about failing. Yeah.
One thing that a conference should have is you never know who's looking. So,
that's true.
One cool thing that I've noticed, especially with the following that I have, is that I'll sometimes, like, randomly, like, see a person that likes something or comment, which I don't often because there's a lot, but when I do see it and I click it, and I'm like, dude, I just saw this dude in a movie. Like, there's, like random people, like, they're already there. So there's eyeballs in those things. Yeah. One simple thing can change your life.
It's funny. Like, I always in my head think that they have a different algorithm or something, but they literally have the same timeline as us. they're watching the same stuff, the same things that go viral pop up on their stuff. So it's like
that one video that I had the
J. Cole one.
No, J. Cole's the OG one, but there's the other one that went really viral. That it was like I'm okay with like people walking away, or that whole thing.
I love it.
You had like Glorilla on it. You got like her on it. Like,
Yeah.
it was like, who are these random people? Like, it was a point that was like, I got tired of screenshotting people because I'm like, how? But what must have happened is that somebody in that circle reposted it, and they all kind of caught it. But that's what happens.
It goes back to like, you don't know.
Yeah. Because what if I started rapping at the end of that video? And
Might get signed.
Bars like,
Yo, podcast over. Rap career starting.
Might start it anyway. Just
Lil Josh.
Lil Smooth.
Jay Smooth.
The good old names.
Oh, you had bars.
Yeah, different bars, but we won't touch that subject. But no, bro, thank you for jumping on this podcast episode. It's always nice to have an episode with actual friend. I had one with Steve too. I think anyone with James, and
oh yeah,
I'm trying to get Ronnie forever, but Ronnie's Ronnie. So
Ronnie's Ronnie.
We'll see. Maybe he might come. Well, he says he's coming up for Luke's birthday, so I'm on my way.
What's today's date?
I don't know.
Because I want to do a podcast same time next year. So
28th. So
28th.
It actually changes.
Yeah, because like right now I'm in the process, but like looking back, I feel like I would love to rewatch it and shoot a different one.
Or you could just make everything happen next month, and we'll come back in a month.
That's a hell of a challenge.
Listen, if you start creating the content, I'm a firm believer. If you start, you set yourself up to win.
Yeah, just do something.
Just do it.
Do it. Like,
Nike. Shout out to them.
Yeah, I feel like I see people that like now I'm just like, wow, they really stuck to it. And it's like happening for them, and it's just really just being consistent.
Yeah,
at
because
some point,
everyone sees the mountaintop. No one sees the long hours that you spent and the hours. But they're like, oh, he got lucky. He just thought, no, I didn't.
Nah.
I was doing the work while you weren't looking.
Exactly, and I feel like that shows like no, let's say there's people that know who you are and know you're popping off and might have not consumed all the content, but they can't deny the hard work.
Yeah,
and the consistency.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised. And again, that is my podcast. If you're here, I appreciate you anyway. But you got an extra episode here. There are a lot of people, and I've been seeing this myself, where there are a lot of people who knew you in different stages of your life, and they want to say you don't deserve that.
They want to keep you there as that version that they know.
Or they'll say stuff like, "Oh man, he's so sneaky and secret. The whole time it's just not their business because you're not involved in what I'm doing or how I'm moving. Why are you so concerned about my pocket but not yours?" Is one of those annoying things that we tend to see people who gave up on their dreams judge you because you're living yours.
Yeah,
that's just like go play in traffic.
Yeah, it's like at first you probably see it as like they're hating, but then it's also hard to like put yourself in their shoes and like that they only see the version that they know of you.
Yeah.
And
or they knew, or they thought they knew.
They knew of you, and then like you've changed so much. Yeah. And it's like you're the fake one, but it's not that. It's like you stayed the same, but I've grown.
Yeah. Yeah. They don't have to respond to that. And or worse, they try to limit your vision by their beliefs. They try to say that you can't do this because I don't believe I can. So if you're making it happen, now you're horrible. You're this, you're that. Bro, I can't tell you the amount of times I've seen people who live in glass houses throwing stones. Like there's not a single perfect person in this world. But if you're more concerned about my life than the things you're doing wrong in yours, you got other problems.
Yeah, you have a bigger problem on your hands.
Bigger issue, like bro, we won't get to this because there's some people that talk nonsense about me, but are people that I know really bad things about, and I'm just like
you know so much more, and it's like your closet is full of skeletons.
Let's be
that
grateful
I know about.
that we're better people. We take higher roads, but this is the reality that people can only try to tear you down when they're below you. There's no one above you that's ever tearing you down. People up top, that whole proverb, right? There's collaboration at the top. People up top are trying to bring you up. People below are trying to bring you down. Yeah. That's where the focus has to be. If you're trying to bring me down, stay over there. We're good.
And it's interesting because like they're punching up.
Yeah, they have to.
You know what I'm saying? And you're not punching down.
Yeah. That's what distinguishes between a person that desires growth and a person that desires to tear it down, to destroy it. Yeah. If you want to grow, you're not concerned about entertaining the peanut gallery. Because the peanut gallery is free. Everyone has access.
Exactly.
They're all going to say stuff, but at the end of the day, if you're doing what you need to do, none of those people matter.
Exactly. I totally agree, and it shows. Yeah. At the end of the day, it shows.
So live on video, so it's recorded forever. You're going to take that challenge?
I'm going to take that challenge.
Okay. So, hold on, make sure it focuses on me.
Yo, and then we said the date already.
That's it.
Live on.
I'm going to just crop those parts and put it all together.
You're going to make one viral clip.
I will say, look what Bryan said. And then by the end of the month, or whatever time frame it takes,